Hi, everyone. Welcome to Michelle's Mystic Corner. Today is Crown Share Saturday. I think this is my favorite Saturday of the month because if you are a member, you can jump up on the Zoom and join me in reading cards and giving your tarot advice. So, there is that for all the members. Let's see, I want to say I know Maria and Jimmy and Dax are all in the chat. So I want to say hi to everybody there. And so when it comes to Crown Share Saturday, I always draw a card for the show. It's for us to all use during the show. And I drew two cards, and the first card didn't even feel right. And the second card behind it was Temperance. But I drew two cards. So I put it back in the deck. I reshuffled. I pulled another card for the day, for the show, and we got Temperance again. So here is the card for the day for our show to use. And when I see the Temperance card, there is so much to see. Now, this is the deck that I have been using during the month. This is my Light Seer deck. Okay. So temperance is about balance, but it's also about balance in walking between the material and the spiritual world. Because as you're going to learn on, I want to say August 9th, the major arcana is more about the spiritual aspects of life and the big events in life, right? So, whereas the major or the minor, more about, you'll find out next time. So, I'm so mean. Okay. So, temperance is about balance, it's about walking between the spiritual and the material world. I really love this picture. I've never seen a man in the temperance card, so this is unique for me. Um, and I do love that it looks like in his infinity sign that is in here, has the sun in one hand and the moon on top of the other hand. So let me get a closer picture of that. So walking between day and night, walking between earth and universe, spiritual and material. Temperance is such an amazing card. So there we have it. Temperance is the card for the day. All right. Right? Right? Hot dude in a wife beater shirt. I think he even has a tattoo on his chest. I think. Let me get a little closer there. Yep, he sure does. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay. Now, if anybody would like to also join in on the chat, you are more than welcome to. Whenever we have some questions coming in, we will answer them. And if you have your deck, feel free to pull a card and use it with the temperance card for any questions that come in. So there is that. It looks like your younger self. I have a few cards like that. So I am going to kick things off with Maria's question. Maria had the first question, and I'm going to spend a few minutes with her. And Miss Maria, will Philip find a new partner to be intimate with after he breaks up with me, before 2026 or during? So I love you, Miss Maria. We've gotten to know each other. But let me tell you something. Why does it matter? You have said he's got his own apartment and you want him out. And you need a new life. So here's what I'm going to say to you. Right now, Your temperance card is upside down. Okay. So on the spectrum, what that means is that you are on the low end of the temperance. You are not walking in balance. Okay. You need to worry about yourself and not Philip. You need to be in balance with yourself. So to do that, we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, there are some actions you need to be taking. Number one, you need to stop thinking about Philip. He is no longer a part of your life. What he does is what he does. Number two, you need to start doing some self-development. Do some meditation, do some strengthening of your own energies, um, do online sitting in the power. Start learning who you are. Because remember, you are not just a human being, you are a spiritual being inside of a human avatar living a human life experience. So now what you need to do is move on and find some new life experiences. So I know you went to school, so now you need to get a job. You need to start in your own field, employing yourself. You need to get some self-confidence in yourself and make some new friends while you're at it, because you will eventually find someone who is for you, who is so much better for you than Philip may be, than Philip is, right? So work on you on these stages before you can work on another person here, and let Philip leave your mind. So during the next full moon, what I want you to do is take a piece of paper and say, I am letting Philip go, mentally, physically, spiritually. And then you're going to burn that piece of paper, and then you're going to take those ashes and you're going to blow them into the wind. Okay, there you go. Hi, Nilda. How are you? Welcome in. So there is that for Miss Maria. Okay, so since Nilda just came in, I'm going to show Nilda the card of the day. We've got the Temperance card. I love this unique card. And every time I look at it, I see something different. Like this time, it's his eyes. They're like really piercing. Oh, and there's angel wings. Look, I was hoping to see angel wings. All right. So, Nilda, if you have a question, feel free to put it in. If you brought your deck, feel free to join along. Um, I know, Dax, I didn't notice them either, and I'm got the card in my hand. Oh, and guys, just so you know, I'm wearing my crown with the moons on it. 3 stages. Okay. Too focused on the hot guy, right? I was too focused on his tattoo to notice the wings. Yes, yes. Okay. Mm. Okay, so I just got a message pop up. That was weird. Okay, so who's got a question? Yes, here we go. Anybody else have a question? If not, I'm just going to start with a general read for the collective today. Oh, wait. Yay, Nilda. Okay. I'm planning moving state. Where should looking at? Florida, Puerto Rico, Colorado, etc. Ooh, okay. Oh, I just got a handful of cards. We're going to go with that. Okay. So here's what we got. Okay. Uh, so we're going to start with Florida. The first card I pulled was the Star card. So, Florida, that's a good call. And I don't normally like Florida for most people because it's so hot and I don't do hot. But if you can handle hot, there you go. And that's crazy because I'm in the desert. Go figure. But it's a different heat here than it is in Florida. But there's the star car for Florida. I think that might be somewhere where you can, with the temperance card, really reach that balance that you might be looking for. I feel like that's a good one. Okay. When it comes to Puerto Rico, we got the Five of Wands. There's a lot of there's a lot of competition there. It's not a fight. They are trying to build something, and there is a lot of teamwork there, but ultimately they are all climbing to reach the top. Okay. Then when it comes to Colorado, okay, we got the Fool card. Here's another really good one. If you want to go to Colorado, definitely jump on it. Take the opportunity. It will make you want to do lots of fun things, lots of new adventures that you can start and restart. And it will also keep you balanced in the aspect of what you need to do in the spiritual realm. Okay. So, and then the etc. Anywhere else, I got the Knight of Swords, and that would take a lot of planning, a lot more emotion, because he's just running. What I'm noticed is he's running after his bike, and I feel like he's going too fast when he's going somewhere else. So, my thoughts with that is either Florida or what did I say? Colorado. So I say do your research. Here's your balance card. Check out the research, the pros and cons on each one, and see which one is going to feel right for you. Florida or Colorado. All right. And I know you're going to watch the replay. So enjoy that when you come back. All right. Okay. So I am going to do a collective reading just because I can. No. Yay, Linda's here. Woohoo. Hello. We can't hear you. Let's see here.
Done.
Oh, there you are.
Hi,
Hi.
how are things?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I've been on holiday, so
Oh,
went to Italy and Slovenia. That was good fun.
nice. My daughter got to go to Italy, and while she was there, she found she found a town called Montemurro, Italy. And that's actually where my family is from. My maiden name is Montemurro.
Small world.
Yes. So that's pretty awesome. So we have a card of the day today.
Mm-hmm.
and it's temperance. But this one is such a unique card. Like, okay,
Oh, yeah. I've not seen a temperance like that before.
right? There are angel wings.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a
Oh, yes,
tattoo,
now. Yes, now you mention it.
and he has the sun and the moon in his hands with that infinity sign back there. It's
Oh,
really
yes.
light. So those are some of the things we've just been pointing out with this in particular card.
Mm. And what's the name of the pack?
So this is the Light Seers Tarot.
Hmm. I can't say I'm familiar with it, but it's always interesting to see how many different interpretations there
It
are.
is. Yes. And this card is just really beautiful. I'm enjoying this deck. I might use it one more month.
Do
So
you have a
I
big,
will,
do you have a large collection of tarot decks?
I do. I do. I have too many. Oh, no, I don't have enough. It depends on who we're asking. If it comes to me, I can use more.
Well, there's certainly plenty of new packs always coming out at the moment.
Hmm. So we just did a reading for Nilda. Um, she's planning to move out of state and wondering where she should look towards. With the cards I pulled, I came up with, she mentioned Florida, Puerto Rico, and Colorado.
Mhm.
Um, and I came up with Florida with the sun and Colorado with the fool.
Why would
Uh,
Colorado?
Adventure,
Mm.
taking the new steps, taking new adventures. And then for Florida with the sun, I think that would be a good spiritual move as well. And then for Puerto Rico, we got the Five of Wands, which was not necessarily a bad card, but I seen everyone just climbing on top of everyone to get to the top.
Competition is not great.
No,
I moved to a town in England once, Brighton, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. But there was somebody who said to me, that is a very competitive town.
yes.
And it was. So I remember going there and having someone and advertising a workshop, and then somebody advertising their workshop on the same day at the same time, right next to my advert.
Oh, goodness.
That was the kind of place it was.
Right. So yeah, that's where we left off, and we're just kind of waiting for more people to show up. Um, and I was gonna
Somebody.
do, oh, hello, kitty.
That's Pepsi.
Hello. Oh, he is beautiful.
See,
Oh, she.
yeah.
Oh.
She only has one eye, but she's quite a character.
What a doll. I have a million, so no, I don't have that many. I only have 8.
8. Just 2. No competition there. I've only got 2.
I have a pretty big property. They keep all the mouse away where we are. Hello, beautiful. Hi. You are such a pretty girl.
She knows it too.
So, I am going to do a collective read since there's not a whole lot of people in yet. And if you want to do a collective read as well, that is awesome.
Okay, I'm just opening up the feed, the speak feed on YouTube, and I've got it now, so I can. Unfortunate.
Okay, so when it comes to the collective of everybody, I have the Wheel of Fortune, okay, and the Chariot. So life is going to turn, things are going to happen. So during that time, what you need to do is continue to move forward with your intention of victory. You also need to remember to stay balanced because that is the biggest issue when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Life is turning no matter what. There's always a constant change somewhere in your world, in your reality. And it's about how you handle it. So if you stay balanced in the physical, in the mental, and in the spiritual, during that time, you are going to be able to keep moving forward. You just need to make sure your horses are together and not separated. Again, it's all about the balance, it's all about staying in tune and in touch. So, that is the collective read for today.
And that refers to everybody.
Um, I'm sorry?
Does that refer to everybody who's tuning
Yes.
in today?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's for everybody.
Just a second.
Okay, Green Earth also had a question. Needing an idea for a new painting. Do the cards have any guidance on the energy to start putting on the canvas? Oh, I love this question. So, here is what we're looking at. Okay. The very first card I'm going to pull for you or show you that I pulled is the Judgment card. And so, when you look at that canvas, you need to not look at that canvas with, ugh, what am I doing? Because I do that too. I will start to do some drawing and be like, this isn't right. And I'll crumple it up and I'll throw it away because you're looking to make sure you're doing things perfect. However, mistakes, please forgive me. I am going to use Bob Ross. There are no mistakes, there's only happy accidents. I love Bob Ross. And so we have the Eight of Pentacles. You have the ideas in your head. And what keeps popping up in my head is I'm seeing all of these moons. So here is a thought for you. Get your canvas, put down some white or black paint because you want to start on top of paint. I'm not a painter. I just learned that from my daughter. And then maybe put down like a sky color and then start with, maybe some universal things. Get a sky picture going, put in some planets and some constellations. Love People love constellations, and you can even write in there, this is the Aries constellation, this is the Cancer constellation, this is the Pisces one. So there's some ideas for you. Just start, and if you mess up, just cover it up with a color and start over again. So yeah, there's some great ideas for you. And then of course I pulled the Two of Pentacles. Lots of choices to start with, but I'm seeing the sun and the moon in this. It's about the circles. So something to do with the universe, the the moon, the planets, and circles. So I hope that is helpful for you. Did you pull anything for Jimmy?
Me, I don't know if anybody else is here. Yes, I did actually.
Oh, good.
Well, I got to, for the first card I pulled was this one, the Tower. The Tower struck down. So to me, that looks like the need for some kind of a shake-up. And to if you're being blocked at the moment, actually this card would be a good one for breaking through that. And so I would go for spontaneity if at all possible, and just going completely mad on the canvas and seeing what comes up.
Oh,
And
I
in fact,
love that.
the Fool also seems to be saying the same kind of a thing. You need to get your beginner mind back and not worry too much about whether or not it's correct, whether or not it follows tradition, those kind of things. I think at the moment it's absolute spontaneity, which could be the way forward. And so that could be splattering, it could be even tearing things, it could be working with the shapes that you don't normally work with. But try something new. That's the impression I'm getting at the moment. You need to get out of your rut.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay, here we go. I have a question. Crazy. I have one. So we are going to ask the cards why, not how, but why I am, afraid to go live on TikTok. Okay. I know I can do it. I'm live on YouTube, but there's something different about TikTok. So I'm going to draw some cards for myself. I don't like to draw cards for myself very much, but I'm going to. Um, so we're going to see what happens. So I got the Lovers card, and I don't normally do a lot of upside downs, but when they do show up upside down, I kind of see that as on the spectrum. This card is saying my own, I'm not loving myself. And to clarify that with this card, the balance card, I'm not loving myself because I'm not in balance because I have too much fear of getting on there. And so I'm allowing that balance to be off. So what I need to do is look at things from a whole different perspective. I need to turn myself around and say, okay, I might be afraid, but I am never going to be the Queen of Swords and in control and get on that live if I don't look at things differently and start saying, you're not afraid. Fear is stopping you. You're afraid of the outcome of what others are going to say, what others are going to do, failing. So fear is holding on to that outcome. And I just did a show about this. Attachments to outcomes. So I need to let go of that attachment to outcome and just get on a couple of lives and I will be successful. So there we have it.
Well, I got the Prince of Wands for my first one. And I
Ooh.
was wondering, yeah, I wasn't sure what to make of it myself to begin with, but I was wondering if it's something to do with the kind of audience that you get on TikTok, which I think is probably quite youthful. Um, so, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not teens, people like that around. And maybe you feel a little bit out of place because it's not an audience that you're as used to as the one that you get on YouTube. That's my first feeling there. So, and that was followed up actually by Strength, which suggests that it's just important to just go along with who you are and not be too concerned about what impression you're making there. Um, the important thing is just to be as true to yourself as you possibly can be there, rather than trying to meet them halfway with something that isn't quite what you really are. So
Awesome.
could be something to do with the kind of audience that's on TikTok. I had a few issues with Zoom actually, but actually I feel a bit better this evening. Something to do with my avatar. It looked a bit strange sometimes on Zoom before, but this looks fine.
Yes,
So,
it does.
so I don't feel as self-conscious as I do as I have done on other occasions because because my avatar looks well, it looks more normal somehow.
Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, I
All
feel
right,
better
thank
about
you.
it. Anyway, you're welcome.
Hi, Nicola. Nicola. Oh, I love that name. How are you doing today? If you have a question, feel free to put it in. Our card of the day is the Temperance card. We've been talking a lot about this card today. So, okay, a few things to discuss real quick. Um, Tomorrow, the Psychic Cafe is having their show, How to Get Stubborn Tarot Reading Clients to Listen to You. Ugh, that is so hard. So that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. There is not going to be a show the first Saturday and Sunday of the month. On the 9th next month, we are going to be talking about the major arcana. So that's going to be interesting. And then on I want to say the 16th, I thought I had it here, but my brain just, we're going to be talking about the minor arcana. So this is going to be, August is going to be a fun month. So, um, let's see here. I don't know all of the Sundays that are coming up, but we do um, reading on love. Okay. So I'm assuming Nicola would like a reading on her love life. I or just a reading. So either one, just let me know. We will do that for you. Okay. All of my tarot readings, if you want a more in-depth tarot reading, they are on sale still for $49.99, as well as my numerology reports. So you can reach me at psychic.cafe/Michelle or psychic.cafe/Mystic Corner. Either one, you can get a hold of me there. And we can set up a date and do a tarot reading, go over a numerology report, whichever you would like. Hi, Astrid. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm going to do not Nilda, Nicola. Okay. So when it comes to Nicola and your a love reading, um, I've got the first thing I have for you is the Chariot. So you are being pulled in two different directions, and you're really there's no victory there for you. So what you need to do is change the way you are thinking. And I did just sit here and shuffle these cards and I got the Wheel of Fortune again. So you need to change the way you do things, especially when you're around other people, because as things change in your life, you may be showing one side to others and another side to other people, and that is okay. However, you need to start being a little more true with yourself out in public. We got the Nine of Wands. I feel like you're trapped by something you are doing. So you're looking for things, but you can't seem to move forward. And that's what that's confirmation on the Chariot card. So what you need to do is you need to put yourself out there when it comes to your love life and show yourself for who you really are. And just go out and start meeting new people, going into different areas that you might not have done before. If you've never done book reading, join a book club. Um, Go to the library. If you're more of an outing person, go to karaoke night. Put yourself out there, but put your true self out there so that you can find the person who is truly meant for you. So I hope that was helpful for you. And did you pull anything, Linda?
And I got the Five of Cups.
Ooh.
So as you can see, that's not a happy, happy looking card. That implies some kind of recent disappointment, quite painful feelings. But the main message of the card is not to cry over spilt milk. This person wasn't right for you, and you've learned something from it. And so it's important not to see this as a statement about what might happen in the future. So I think in the case of this card, you do need to move on a little bit. And following that, I've actually got the card Judgment, which is quite an apocalyptic looking card. But I think in this case, I think it's very much a question of moving forward and trying the recommendations that have already been suggested. I'm afraid I can't come on much more now because this stupid cough is being a bit of a nuisance at the moment.
Okay. Okay, so the next question I see in there is from Astrid. Hi, Astrid. How are you doing? Okay. I'm so glad you're happy to be here. Um, I am planning to take a sabbatical. How will it turn out? So I drew a couple of cards. I got the Five of Cups. So it is going to be emotional. You are going to cry. You are going to let all those feelings, all those emotions up at the surface, and it could be a little bit painful. However, it's also going to be a time of rest. So, it's going to go in stages, and this is just amazing. It's going to give you a time to rest all of those thoughts because you're going to get rid of the emotions. You're going to release emotions, okay? Then you're going to release these thoughts and rest on the thoughts. And then we have the Ten of Swords. You are going to be free in your mind. The birds represent all those thoughts, those emotions that you have turned into thoughts, and you're going to release those and walk away new, renewed, and in tune with yourself. Now, this is also dependent on if you are open-minded and go through with all of the steps that you need to go through with while you're on the sabbatical. So make sure before you leave that you have at least some kind of a bullet point of steps of what you need to do so you don't just go on the sabbatical and forget, I need to do this with myself, I need to do this with myself so that I can accomplish this. So there's that for you. Okay. Crystal Candace, hello, welcome in. Can you say if my ex Nixon wants to talk to me about our current situation or he has just moved on or fed up? Okay. Did you pull any cards or are you
Yeah,
gonna?
I'll have a crack at it. So the first card I've got here is the Four of Swords, That's sometimes called truce, and well, certainly in the 12th pack, and that implies that it's not so much that he's fed up. He's sitting on the fence. He's not really sure what to do at the moment. I think he's holding back because he's not really sure. So I don't think it's a question of moving on yet or being fed up. He's just sitting on the fence. And I see a catalyst coming with the Eight of Wands. And so when you do get to discuss things, I think quite a lot of things will become a whole lot clearer, but you might have to push him a little bit because I think he's not being particularly proactive about resolving the situation at the moment. I mean, whether or not it's positive or negative, it'll be good because at least you'll know where things are, and it'll open things up and it'll clear the air, whatever's stagnating at the moment or holding things back. That's the message I'm getting from these two cards at the moment.
Okay. Well, for Crystal, I've got the Nine of Swords. I feel like he might be very overwhelmed in his own emotional world, his own his own not emotional, intellectual world. His mind is so overwhelmed with so much. Okay, the next cards I got are the King of Wands and the Moon. So right now he needs to focus on himself because he is not seeing things fully or clearly. Okay. He needs to get in tune with himself, and then um, he may or may not get a hold of you. Once he does, let's see here. I have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, he very well might get a hold of you. He's just very overwhelmed, and communication is really hard for him at the moment. So you may have to be the one to reach out, but he may be willing to talk if you just say, I would like to talk about this situation and get closure to it or figure it out. So, yes, there is a possibility. Yes, he is an overthinker. Yeah, and that happens. They just need time to sometimes see things in a whole different light so they can be the person in control of themselves and in control of their own even emotion and strength, because the lion is a big strength that sometimes people need to defeat in their own minds. So okay. Yeah, it can be hard and it can be draining. So right now is the time for you to start doing some energy strengthening exercises. There's some meditations. Check out YouTube. Um, I really like, and I keep saying it, sitting in the power, because it really teaches you how to recognize your own energy. And that is so important because if you don't recognize your own energy, you won't be able to recognize the different energies that are coming at you. So when you start recognizing and knowing your own energy, when there's another energy force around you, you'll be able to know that. Another good meditation to do every day is called bubbling up. It is not a long one. It just, you bubble up, you put a shield about you, and it is an energy force that you wrap around yourself daily and sometimes multiple times a day. So there's some good advice for you right there. And do you have any advice for when you're feeling drained?
Well, that came through a little bit with the Eight of Wands that I pulled, this catalyst situation. I think, and I agree with what you were saying. I think it's up to the querent, or I know it's an old-fashioned word, to initiate things, unfortunately, because he's just in a bit of an indecisive mess at the moment, or just stuck in some way.
Yeah.
Um, Bonds are all about movement and energy, so I think. doing exercise, just going out into nature, just letting, just not preoccupying too much about it. These seem to be the way to go forward. But I think if you end up being physically active, that will get you into a less stressed state of mind so that you will feel more able to cut to where things need to go.
Yeah. Yep. So he doesn't communicate, but there's different ways you can get him to communicate. You just have to be a little more, it needs to happen. We need to do this. Let's get this over with one way or another. You have to be just not forceful, but just to the point.
I guess that the more relaxed that you are when you do get to that stage, easier it will be, probably.
Yes. A lot of apologies, and we need to work through it so we can move on. And that's the words you want to use. Closure, move on one way or another, um, heal, heal from the breakup. You guys need to heal from that breakup. That's the big thing. And you need to even see if he's going to be the right one for you to even want to communicate with. So, okay. Is there any other questions in the chat? Feel free to put more, and if anyone new comes in, um, let's see here. We did that. So again, feel free to reach out. Feel free to join the Psychic Cafe. It is a lot of fun. You can become a host. You can start your own group. I have mine, Michelle's Mystic Corner. I am going to be starting a newsletter. I am technically insane and don't know how to get this newsletter going, but I will be getting one. So if you want on the list, just message me and I will put you on the list. Astrid, for you, yes, I will allow a second question for you. And don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe. We need more likes. We need more view hours. Come check out the site. We have a lot of good videos. Um, and not just from me. There's the Angelic View on YouTube on our channel, that she is amazing, Maria and Ginger. There's a lot of good shows that are on here that you can check out and get a lot out of. How can I attract my soulmate? Ooh, good question. I like that. Not who is my soulmate, but how can I attract him? Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. All right. I have some cards for you. The first one I picked was the King of Cups. So he is your soulmate, loves the water. I feel like he is going to be a Cancer. Now, I say that because there's a crab. Now, that doesn't mean he is a Cancer. He could be any of the water signs, but that crab's got me. So I feel like he could be a Cancer, but a water sign. He's going to be a little bit more of an emotional being. Whether that's just showing more emotion or not, I'm not sure. But he is there. There's your soulmate. Doesn't mean he looks like that either. Okay. The next card I pulled is the Magician. So you need to manifest your soulmate. Okay. And I also got the Seven of Cups. So you're going to have to really, when you manifest your soulmate, manifestation is a lot to do with intention. So you got to really put that intention out there. You got to do the visualizing. When you do these things, it is not just, okay, I see this guy. This is what I want. You need to get everything, all of your senses, your hearing, your sight, your sound, your taste. You want to feel it deep inside. You want all your senses involved. That's why we do rituals. That's why we do spells. It's not to perform the magic because it's all about energy. It is to involve our senses and get our whole being involved in that. So you want to manifest and you want to use all of your emotions, all of your intentions, and pour it out there. And that is how you are going to attract him. You need to put yourself out there. You need to go to places that I got this Eight of Wands again. Okay, here we go. You need to go start finding places that you've never been before, but you've been interested in. So you want to meet your soulmate, you want to do manifestation, but you got to do the intention. You got to go out and meet new people. You got to go to new places that you wouldn't go before, but you were interested in going. You got to be yourself, put your true self out there. Don't judge. At, don't judge the book by its cover. Okay. And be honest with yourself, and then you're going to attract that soulmate to you. So there is your Eight of Wands yet again. And then lastly, stay in balance with yourself and your spiritual side, and find someone who is like you, that has some of the same likes as you. So I'm saying go to new places that you wouldn't go before, but you wanted to go. So there you have it. Did you pull anything?
Yes. First card I pulled was this one. It's the Princess of Wands. And to me, that's all about getting your confidence back, getting your mojo back. Look at her; she's surrounded by fire. She is quite fiery. And so I think that's that you need to do. It's getting that spontaneity and just love of life back, because that will attract people. That's in itself is something that will draw people to you. So if you've lost your mojo, you won't be so appealing. So you won't be so appealing to other people if you lose that confidence. You need to get it back, and I'd say that's due to getting physically active, as I said before. I think it was the earlier reading that these ones came up. Yeah, my Eight of Wands, if it's the same one. And it's about finding out what enthuses you. What do you find exciting? What do you find turns you on? What kind of hobbies do you get a real excitement out of, whether it's surfing or some kind of sport, but or some other kind of activity which just gets you out of yourself again and fires you up again. That's what you most need at the moment to bring people into your life in the best possible way. And the next card I've got, it's a bit different from the one that you got. It's the Prince of Swords. And actually, this is not water energy. This is more air energy. He looks a bit like a Jack Sparrow type of character. So maybe it's somebody who's got a sense of imagination and a little bit of fantasy about them, which actually fits in with that card you pulled with the Seven of Cups, by the way. So I think if things are too prosaic and too without any real excitement or shared vision, things can get a little bit stale. But also, I think there has to be a kind of an intellectual dimension to the person that you enjoy meeting as well. It's got to be somebody who's got a sense of repartee. It's who likes um, discussing, I don't know, books that you've read or restaurants that you've been to, but somebody who's got an interest in the outside world and what makes people tick and things like that. So I see an air component to any water or any particular sign that comes through. This card to me is more like Gemini or Libra. So maybe there has to be that dimension as well, rather than just somebody who's particularly closed off and takes a while to get to know. So this kind of person is also capable of meeting you halfway with their interests and their way of looking at the world. And yeah, getting the yes, and another way of looking at this card is getting the means of communication open. So, what sort of things do you like talking about? What sort of things do you? What kind of things do you find interesting? That's my answer there. But obviously, you need to find somebody with a heart because this card has a reputation of being a bit of a bit of a flirt, and possibly being a bit superficial. And we all know that Jack Sparrow had a thoroughly naughty side of him as well. So you obviously want to find somebody who's got integrity. So avoid the people who are too glib and too smooth because they won't have the depth that you're looking for beyond just being able to chat about things. But to begin with, I think there has to be a bit of a spark, a bit of a bit of enthusiasm to get you both interested and looking at and be able to enjoy enjoy what's in the world. There's so many interesting things to talk about, to look at, and you have to get out there and start enjoying them again.
Okay. So we've got three more questions, and I'm going to go through those rather quickly, but not too quickly, because we are coming to the end of the show. So the next question is from Angel 101. Will Rob reach out soon, or does he want to reach out? We are both Leos. Okay, so the thing is there's some out of balance with the both of you. And I got the Seven of Swords. He is very overwhelmed with communication right now. Um, he is, I'm feeling like he's not sure if he's ready to reach out. But however, I did also pull the Six of Pentacles. So once he is feeling more in tune with his own self, I believe he might reach out to you. So just give him a little time. Okay. Did you pull a card?
Yes, I did. I got the Lovers. So to me, that suggests that the attraction is there and the interest is there. So for whatever reason, he's holding back. Part of that could be the Six of Cups, which is looking back towards the past. It could be that he's still getting over something from his past that is making him cautious at the moment. Perhaps he was hurt in his earlier relationship, and so he doesn't want to go back to that same there. But yeah, to my mind too, patience could be the way to get through to him. Because to me, the Lovers, well, that's an obvious sign that there's some kind of a spark going on there. There's some kind of attraction. So I'd persevere.
Okay, awesome. Dan, when will I get my balance back? When you stop falling over? No, I'm kidding. I have to pick on him. Okay, so I have the Knight of Wands with the Temperance card. So here's what you need to do. You need to get into doing some kind of meditation, some more self development, something that's a little more your speed. And then with the Knight of Wands, it is suggesting that you take action on that. When you do that, you need to leave behind at least one emotion. I got the Eight of Cups. You need to let go of at least one emotion that is holding you down. I got the Six of Swords, that is becoming a thought, a pattern in your mind. So You need to do some meditation and let go of thought patterns that is becoming emotional trauma for you. Do you have anything, Miss Linda?
I do. I've got the Chariot, and I think that's all about purpose, finding your purpose again, whatever it is. When we go for what we want, then if we have our thoughts and our feelings and our approach, the front we want to present to the world all go together in the same direction. But you need to find out what it is that you want to do, particularly in order to get that back. That's quite an active get into it type of card. But I think your purpose will be the way that you will find your balance again. And the magician, again, there's an element of purpose there because the magician's at the start of the great quest, getting all his elements. Yeah, the four elements are emotions, feelings, intuition. Well, Jung called it sensation and such like, and working with the basic four things. But again, the magician has a sense of purpose that brings all the basic components in his personality together to go forward. So, well, what is it you really want to do? Where are you going? I think if you answer those questions, then you should be able to get your way forward again.
Okay. And then we have Miss Sahani. Thank you. Thank you. I love my crown. This is one of my favorites. Okay. So you want to know if the owner of this cafe has any feelings for you. Um, you go there on a daily basis. I love it. So I got the Two of Wands, I feel like, and I got the Four of Cups. So he is confused about his feelings. He's got some feelings for you, but he doesn't know what you think. Let's see, he's afraid to even say anything because he doesn't want to take action yet. But there's something there. He's I got this one. There's something there. He's just seeing things through rose-colored glasses right now and unsure how to do anything. But I do see feelings there.
I've
Did
got the world. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, so that's for me. The potential certainly seems to be there, doesn't? So presumably it's not completely one-sided and a very strong potential at that. So it's worth pursuing things. How do you do it? So, well, you've got to make a bridge. The Six of Swords is all about finding bridges. Did I cut in, by the way, with yours? I'm sorry if I
Nope,
did.
you did not.
But anyway, find a bridge of some kind. Find some common ground. Start talking about things and make small talk. So it's often so when you meet somebody, don't just say, "Hey, I want to marry me." Doesn't quite work like that. So you have to get to know them first, and you have to find the common ground first. So, and also, because the longer you leave it, the more fantasy is likely to build up. And so then it will be more and more difficult to get to that bridge. So I think the best thing to do is to start finding that common ground as soon as possible. And then if you find when you're talking that you come up against you discover a red flag or you find a negotiating sticking point, then I suppose you'll have your answer. But the world that's quite a bit of potential there. That's could be worth pursuing.
Yep. Yes. Well, I just want to thank everyone for being here. Don't forget, you can get a hold of me at psychic.cafe/Michelle. Leave me a message if you want an in-depth reading, $49.99. Tomorrow, how to get stubborn reading clients to listen to the reader's advice. There you go. How do I get you to listen to me? So be there tomorrow for that one, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So I think I get so lost with those. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Linda. I very much loved having you here today. I always do. And I will see you again. Bye, everybody.